Bueno, aquesta conferència, ara anem a l'àmbit... És un noi que és francès, que és fotògraf, que és naturalista, que ell el que li agrada és fotografiar els animals en perill d'extinció i en concret ha fet un gran treball en el llop etiop i llavors bueno, ens explicarà una miqueta i sobretot ens mostrarà imatges d'aquest animal tan fascinant, d'acord? Si voleu veure una exposició seva, n'hi ha una al costat de la carpa 2, aquí a l'exterior, on podreu veure fotografies meravelloses que ha fet ell d'aquest animal, d'acord? Bueno, quan vulguis. Do you understand? Yes, a little. Okay, I introduce you,
Yeah.
and you can start. And I have a question for you. What do you admire most of the wolf, of the Ethiopian wolf? What do you admire?
What I'm admiring. Gracias. Gracias. To answer to that question, I think what I love the most is the elegance of this wolf and those behaviors we're going to talk to tonight with you. So let me just start, I think, and I'm sorry, but unfortunately I'm not speaking Spanish, which I would love to, as I'm your neighbor. So, but I still prepared a few words, if you like. This is the thing. It's which button, you know. The middle one. Okay, thank you. All right. Buenas tardes y muchas gracias por estar aquí. Soy Adrien Lesaffre y estoy muy feliz de hablarles de un tema que me apasiona, el lobo de Etiopía. Gracias. So this evening we're going to talk about not a bird, but a strange bird that we discovered recently. What we discovered recently is behavior, like on these pictures show. So let me introduce it. Middle one. Yeah. So imagine a word somewhere at plus 3,600 meter altitude, somewhere in Ethiopia. Oh, the little. Can you go backwards? And there is a little movie, how I play it. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, good, thanks. So imagine on this plateau, on these Afro-Alpine meadows, a wolf. Okay, not a wolf, a very specific wolf, not like in Galicia or in the Canadian forest. A red wolf, which is evolving between a million flowers and with his elegant legs and his red coat, like you can see. So let me introduce that wolf that maybe you don't know him, but this is one of the rarest canids on the world, maybe the third one, and it's also the more rare carnivore in Africa. There is only 500, maybe less, individuals only in Ethiopia. We call this Ethiopian wolf, but maybe you know it like Abyssinian wolf. His Latin name is Canissimensis, and the local people, they call him Kekbero, which means the red jackal, or Gidelafarda, which means that the one who follow the herds, like cows or horses. So, it's very special. Like I said, very rare, and only in Ethiopia. So there is 7 population, um, 500 individuals, and we count like less than 100 packs, and they live always above 3,300 meters altitude. You need a very specific environment, what we call basically Afro-Alpine meadows environment. So here is a little map to show you the different population. So as you can see in the south, this is the biggest in the Bali Mountain population. Then a little bit upper, it's RC Mountains, where you can see very tiny populations. It's only 30 individuals, like in Menguasa, which is a little bit more in the middle of the country, and then in the Simians Mountains, like the second biggest population, which is decreasing, and it's only 60 individuals around, okay, and 3 more very little population. They're very little and very isolated. So only 7 population is very less. So what makes the difference with the gray wolf that we know in Europe? First of all, is very little, like the half of the size of a gray wolf. It's more like, let's say, a coyote. It has bigger ears, a long muzzle, very long legs, and this very specific reddish coat with a white scarf on the neck and on the belly. This is about evolution. Okay, it came from a very old ancestor, common with coyote and gray wolf. And this is also evolution adapted to his prey, because he's a very famous specialist of rodent hunting. So his bigger ears made him very sensitive to the sounds and noise from the mouse or the rats. And his long muzzle is very practical to catch them directly into the den, sometimes, of those little mouse or rats. So this is also another very famous rat. It's very funny. We call this the famous giant roll rat. And this is the favorite prey of the wolf. This rat is only living on the highlands. It's also why the wolf is over there, because there is the prey. And this guy is around 1 kilo when it's a big one. 1 kilo is a good breakfast. Desayuno, right? Good one. And something which is very specific with that wolf that I really love is about his behavior. So we call this wolf like acting like a cooperative breeding, like the painted wolf, for example, or the suricate, like, and some few other little mammals. So it's very rare behavior. And I'm gonna show you a little movie I did with few footage that I did like 2 years ago. It was on a dry season, and I'm gonna explain after this 1 minute. Oh, backwards, please. And to play is the middle one. Okay, fantastic, thanks. So on this little footage that was very interesting because we can see how they are acting. They're extremely social. And the whole pack, the whole family is involved in the education of the puppies like we saw. It means that only the dominant female is gonna have puppies, but her own daughter can give milk. She's gonna stress those other female to not have puppies. So it's gonna be like kind of abortion, but still those other females gonna do the milk, which is interesting because it's gonna provide to the puppies enough milk to survive. And it's creating also more, I don't have the words in English, consistent pack in the link with the family, you know. The male, they are oftenly bringing rats after 3 weeks of being under milk. They bring rats to the puppies to make them eating something hard. They bring also for the female who stay or give milk because she cannot go hunt, so they bring some food, and they all participate to the education. All, the mother, the other daughters, or brothers and sisters. So it's very interesting behavior, and it's very interesting and how to say pleasant to watch doing this. That's very interesting. But that's not all. Unfortunately, I say that there is less than 500 individuals today. Long time ago, that was estimated over 30,000 individuals, but for several reasons, they decrease. And of course, as you guess, the biggest one is the global warming. So it created habitat loss. And when there is habitat loss, there is unfortunately population isolated, then they die because there is not enough breeding, and DNA is starting to root, and it disappear quickly. Then, nowadays, the biggest problem, in my opinion, from what I experienced since these 10 years, I'm following them, is the human activity that unfortunately more and more poor people are going into the mountain to survive with some cows, horses, donkeys, and a lot of sheep. So the problem is that there is a big concurrencies on the territory, and when you say human activity, shepherd activity, you say dogs. And that's the biggest problem, the dogs, because they are absolutely not, how to say, they don't take care of the dogs. So they are carrying rabies and the canis distemper, which are two viruses extremely lethal. To give you an example, that in 20, when I came back in Ethiopia, the half of the wolf on the valley disappeared because of a rabies pandemic. So the dogs spread it, and then because they share a lot in the DNA, it goes to the wolf, and the wolf died very fast. It's drastically and dramatically. So that's the threatness, I would say, about this wolf. But of course, there is always some solution, and the EWCP, it's an NGO which is working a lot on the field. So it's the Ethiopian Wolf Conservancy Program. They do a lot of vaccination, not only on the wolf, but also on the dogs. To give you an idea, it can be 2,000 dogs a year in the same valley. It's a lot. It's a lot of job to do this, and you need also to educate. So the wolf monitor are going to visit every family, try to talk with them, to teach, don't worry, the wolf is not a danger for the sheep because it's a rodent hunter, not a cow or calf or sheep, whatever. It's extremely rare that this happen. Not like in France, for example. Maybe in Spain you have also the problem with the gray wolf, but there is absolutely no problem with that. But also what they are working on, which is a very interesting way to bring solution to save the wolf, is to provide new income to the population. Because grazing animals doesn't bring that much money. It's destroying the territory of the wolf a lot and bringing extra other problem. But why not, for example, they teach them to be a beekeeper because the honey there has an extremely good value. You're gonna sell, for example, $10 for 1 kilo. It's more interesting for them to produce honey, which is kind of easy to produce there, and they gonna fix like this the village people, if I can say, in their own place, and they not gonna do this exode to the high altitude plateaus and let the wolf quiet. That's the solution. There is like this many different program, and they have a big hope to reduce the human activity on this environment. So that's the solution to today to save the wolf. But you have to just keep in mind that if there is no more vaccination in 2 years, for 80% of chance, the wolf will disappear. Ethiopian wolf will disappear if they not continue the vaccination. So, but see, this is something very amazing, that it's a very well-known from age behavior, but it has never been reported until June 21. And it was really unexpected, I have to say, behavior. You have to see it to understand this. It's very crazy. So imagine in June, this is the good season, it's spring, let's say, and there is a million of this Carnivore foliosa, like you can see on the pictures, with the sunbirds going in it. At least I'm talking a little bit of birds because we are to the Delta birding festival, right? But so this flower, we call it Carnivore foliosa, and it's endemic of this plateau in Ethiopia. We know it grows almost everywhere now in Europe. You see that in the garden. It's a very rustic, very resistant flower. It can go to the -15. It's still there. It's doing a lot of flowers for a month. And of course, it's producing a lot of nectar. And this is what the wolf are interested by, like the sunbirds, like many other species. So in English, we call this red-hot poker. In French, we say the tison du diable. In Spanish, if someone knows the name in Spanish, I would be happy to know it. So, I'm gonna show you here the first footage we did with a friend about the behaviors, about the flowers. But let me just talk quickly about this. To launch this, when I push the middle one, it's going to the next. Yeah. So this is the Carnivore foliosa. It grows there by million. It's the same family that agave. I don't know the English word for that. And it's attracting a lot of species, a lot of birds there. So we have the sunbirds, the Takas sunbird, which is endemic of the region. Here there is a little female. A lot of birds. So you can see on the bottom part of the flower, it contains a lot of nectar that all the birds are going in it. And of course, when they do this, they are collecting the pollen. They collect the pollen, like you can see, like on this one, this little guy, he has a completely yellow face. So the pollen is collected. This is a funny pictures because when I show this on the network, social networks and on my website, many birders were surprised that I was named this guy. It's a moorland chat. It's endemic from there. But the guy said to me, it's not possible. They don't have yellow faces. Maybe it's a subspecies or a new species. I say, no, it's just a moorland chat. It's just because he visits the flowers and then they collect the pollen. And all the birds there, they have a yellow face during the spring. This was a little funny story because I have many birds that say, but that's not your wrong, blah, blah, blah. But so just to show that how birds are collecting the pollen. The olive baboons too. What we saw, the Nyala, mountains Nyala, also endemic antelope from Ethiopia, only in the south. But they don't lick it. They don't know how to lick, so they eat it completely. They eat the whole flower, but complete. And then they go. It's very funny. And of course, the young shepherd, they super like. It's like the lollipop in Ethiopia. They cut somewhere here on the base, and they are walking behind the shepherd, the sheep and cows, and they lick. I mean, they don't lick, they suck from the bottom the nectar. It's full of kind of caramel water. It's very interesting. And of course, an unexpected visitor, the wolf. And this is the whole topic because we got very interested to understand this behavior. And we were with the scientist team thinking that it might be finally a pollinator, like a bee, like the birds we saw, like the baboons, like the nyanas, because they transport on their muzzle a lot of this pollen. So we decided with Sandra, that you can see on the left, we decided to drive a study about this behavior for the first time. So we think about a protocol, what we have to register, like the data, you know, like what time it was, where it was. So it means collect the GPS data. It means to also detect if it's a female, a male, which pack, estimate, evaluate the age of the wolf. So we had the complete protocol, and we follow around 6-7 different wolves for a week, and taking note on the field, observe them for a while. That was very interesting. I collect pictures since 21, but finally we start with the protocol only in 22, and we start to go deeper into the research around 23. Everything takes time with the scientists. That's the problem. You write a mail and you have an answer 3 months later, so sometimes it's very complicated. And finally, we release the complete study on ecology, where we explain the potential pollinator behavior by the wolf, Ethiopian wolf. So what we observe is that, like you can see on the muzzle, is collecting a lot of pollen. They are able to visit, let's say, it can be like only one flower. They're gonna lick it for 3 seconds and they're gonna skip to the next. It depends of, is there enough nectar into the flower? Is there enough flower which are enough open. So there is many factor, very complicated to determine it, but at least the result is that they are collecting pollen. So they are a possible pollinator, like the pictures we saw into this exhibition outside, like the bats. They are also a possible pollinator because they are transporting the pollen when they're visiting a flower. So why not with the wolf? There is also little rodents which are well known in Australia, transporting pollen from a flower to another flower. So we also observe that they are teaching. So here it's a very old female that she unfortunately passed like 2 years ago, and she was teaching to this young female that I very well know now, because she was teaching her, she was bringing her to the field where there is the flowers and showing her literally how to do it. So they have different techniques. They can jump and jump on the flower. They put the flower on the floor and they lick it, or they just stand on their back legs to lick the pollen. So that also very interesting. So they are teaching, and here on these pictures it shows how they do. So see, with the tongue they go very on the bottom to collect the nectar, and because they are doing upside down like this, they scratch their muzzle into these flowers, which is collecting the whole pollen on it. It's amazing because it's a lot. So that was the whole thing. Put this enlight this behavior and show to the world that there is not only insect like bees we very well know, or birds we know also, that they could be a pollinator. And it's a little revolution because it's the first time that we report that a large carnivore is doing that. So that's a little, let's say, yeah, it's a little discovery, let's say. Even if I say it one more time, we were aware about it from decades, because since the scientists watched the wolf like only for 40 years, it's nothing finally, but that was they were aware about the behavior, but they never, let's say, get interested in it. So I push it because that was kind of interesting thing, and it has a big meaning for me, at least. And it shows also something very interesting, that now we have to rethink all about the environment and how the species are acting, even if it's big mammals and a little flower. So we have to know, understand this and go deeper to understand the whole connection with that. That's it. So here, it's the very first time I'm showing this footage. It's gonna be a movie which I'm releasing in France next month. And I'm very happy to share this with you. It's the very first time I show this, and it's just to show you the behaviors of those wolves going into the flowers, licking the flowers, how they do. And after this, we can discuss if you have questions about the behaviors or the wolf, etc. I'm gonna try to play it. Hope it's gonna work. And no, it doesn't work. I think. Can you? Yeah, thank you. there is no sound. I'm sorry, I don't know what had happened, but the music went off somewhere. Lost in translation, probably. See, this young guy is only 5 months. He's trying to catch the flower with his leg. Here it's easy, it's on his size. So sometimes it's just few sec. This one is not ready, he's biting it, it's smelling it. No, nothing. But he's trying at least. And here it worked well because the flower is ready. You see the bottom is very open, so it's contain a lot of nectar, and they really enjoy it. And now also the question is, does it has an interesting value for them? I mean, for their health? Is it only like a sweet, you know, like a gift? There is many questions again that we have to study, and we have to push it more. We are on it, but it's a lot of job, and it's not always easy to find the pack where if they're gonna live around the flowers, if there will be enough flowers, if they are open or not. That's a big thing. You see, sometimes they can jump, and you can see that the flower is not really full because no nectar felt from the flower. Here is the pack. This pack is named Makana, and I follow it for a month this year, this June, and it's happened only 2 days. They start to lick the flower by the time I was there. It was a very dry season, and that's why the flower were not really completely ready, let's say. So I finish with this little footage, and yeah, that was very interesting things. So I think maybe the wolf, maybe some mammals are not the only thing. Maybe there is other animals which are for now undiscovered, and they are also participating to the pollinizator, like bees, like the birds, etc., etc. So there's many questions now are open. So muchas gracias. Thank you very much to listen me, and thank you. I don't know if we have time, but if there is some questions,